Happy New Year and welcome back to Off the Record with Journey Magazine. We are super excited for this new era of Off the Record with so many more amazing artists to come. Today we're back here in Studio B for episode 4, so we wanted to switch it up a bit and we have 2 artists here. I'm not gonna say too much, so I'll let y'all introduce yourselves.
What's happening? My name is Anthony, also known as Antmann, and I am part of Soul World and Studio House Mafia. But yeah, I'm a producer, DJ, music and recording engineer, creative. I do all that. You feel me? And I'm gonna pass it off to my boy Lucid.
What's going on? My name is Lucid Luunar, artist from ATL, founder of Lumina, member of Studio House Mafia, creator of Hips. Happy to be here, man.
So you both mentioned Studio House Mafia. Can you guys talk a little more about that? What is that?
It really started before we moved into where we stay at now. I was looking for roommates. I made music with them boys, like my boy Lucid, my boy Jonathan, also known as Archon, the producer. And it was like, shoot, you feel me? Y'all trying to move in, for an apartment next semester? And it was like, yeah. So you feel me? And then we just, pretty much the whole house is like a studio. You know, we just call it Studio House Mafia. So it's like House of Hits. Yeah, and it's all just under Soul World, what we doing, just changing the culture, feel me, with the music.
You know, we each got our own individual setup, so we always work on our own stuff. Sometimes, last night even, I just had everybody come in the room, we made a few beats, cooked some food, relax. So, it's always good vibes to Studio House Mafia, and we plan on, just continue to make more good music with each other, because that's just what we do.
Great music.
Great music.
I can't really say too much about you, just had to experience it, feel me? Studio's an experience.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience. We make hits, great music all the time.
You feel me?
So we're just gonna jump right into it. Can you guys tell me how you guys first got into music?
Okay. Well, in the way that I make it now, I more so started writing poetry when I was a kid. And I was always interested in art, so music was never really something that came on until much later on. Always appreciated just listening to lots of different artists, styles of music, just listening to the musicality of it from dancing. So around high school, started producing a little bit more. Quarantine came, I decided to take it seriously. So yeah, I've always been around it, and growing up in Atlanta, it's hard to miss. But yeah, it's definitely an important part of my life.
I really started with music once I came into this world, for real. Around middle school is when I really started getting into music, producing wise. My boy put me on the FL studio. It was he showed me his studio, and I was like, oh, what this is? So I learned how to produce music from then. I was around 13, 14. I was middle school, high school, that little transition period, you feel me? And then I really started engineering for real, this past summer. I started interning at a studio in Pompano called Cavern Records, Scave Audio on IG. And so it's just been up from there, you feel me? And it's been going 100% with this music, because I don't see myself really doing nothing else. Other than being a creative, you feel me? Because I tried engineering and real mechanical engineering that in high school. No, that wasn't it. Once I started putting numbers and letters together, I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
So I actually met Ant during our freshman year, and I recorded for the second time in your studio. So can you tell me what made you start engineering for other people?
It all started by I could make this sound better, you feel me? The vocals back then, how I was mixing, it wasn't the best. But it's always trying to getting that ear to making music sound just sonically beautiful, you feel me? So that's what I want to do with the engineering, you feel me? So it's I'll record you, I'll record AZ, you feel me? I'll record any of the artists that I work with, just so we can get that sound, you feel me? That hits your soul.
So Lucid, since you're a transferred student, how did you guys meet?
Okay, so I came after everybody had their little fun at Village during 2020. So I was well out the loop. I didn't know where to connect or anybody to connect with. I was in a few of the group chats leading up. So I was like, all right, let me just find a few avenues. And I remember seeing Antmann pop up on my Instagram page. I was like, I remember him. And I told him to pull up to my apartment. And the first time this man came to my studio, this man brought a piano and a bass guitar. And it was the first time, even for Tallahassee, that was a shock, because I started recording a few people, but people come in and they leave. But he came in really prepared, really professional, really serious. And one of the beats that he made for me that night went straight onto the project that I was working on at the time because it was just like, without question, like he makes good music and we make good music together. So yeah, big shouts out to Antmann. Yeah.
So since transferring here, what has it been like getting accustomed to the music scene here in Tallahassee as opposed to Atlanta?
You know, in Atlanta, people say it's like the new Hollywood when it comes to music and acting. So there's no doubt the fact that it's just like flooded. It's almost hard to miss. You can't ignore it in Atlanta. When I came to Tallahassee, it was like looking for a needle in a haystack. It felt like it's like, where's the music scene? It's supposed to be shows happening every Friday and Saturday, you know, folks recording. But there's definitely a scene here. It took me a little bit to find it, and I really appreciate what we have, but I feel like there's room for so much more collaboration and integration. But yeah, you know, it's been real nice. I'll admit I stayed in my room a little bit. I kind of stayed to myself, but I'm trying to branch out and work with other artists a bit more, you know, just to see what all of Tallahassee has to offer. Because it's not just Tallahassee, you know, we got folks from all over the country, you know, some folks from all over the world that here make music, you know, do filmography, a lot of cool stuff, you know, we could work together on, make some good stuff.
So one of the recent events that we had a few months ago is called Tallahassee versus the World, which kind of talks about like the music scene here and everything. So how have events like this helped to reshape your idea of the musical community here?
That was very eye-opening and for me very necessary. It kind of like rekindled my desire to see that type of, you know, those types of events and activities here in Tallahassee. I got to meet a whole lot of artists, folks that's like 18, 17 in high school, making like some great music, folks that are from other parts of Florida that were just stopping through in Tally. It was a really good opportunity just to meet, you know, more mixers, producers, you know, everybody in general. So it was beautiful, and I hope to see a lot more of it.
And so shortly after, you two actually hosted a similar event, Hidden in Plain Sight. So can y'all tell us about that? What was that?
Yeah, so Hidden in Plain Sight came from an idea I had with a few friends back in May. We were having some sessions, and I was like, man, they don't even know who we are in this here apartment. You know, folks just boosting their ego. We're sitting there, so they're like, they don't even know it's 6 legends in the room. We're hidden in plain sight, you know? So it kind of sparked that idea. Like, yeah, it's a lot of artists out here that are hidden in plain sight. Folks y'all walk past on campus, you know, might be the next Drake, you don't know. But all jokes aside, I was like, let's implement it into an actual show. Brought the idea to Antmann, and we worked on some promotions, wanted to get in touch with some of the artists that are, you know, in Atlanta that I work with, some of the artists that are here in Tallahassee. Wanted to get some Black-owned brands there so that we can, you know, represent more than just art. You know, it's truly a community, you know, a soul world, you know what I'm saying?
The show, it was just to like, you know, bring more attention to like what everybody got going on, like on the creative side for like anyone that's in Tallahassee, like that's a student or whatnot, you feel me? Get your name out there, cause it's like, you feel me? You got all these big brands and all that whoop whoop thing, but it's like you got your friends and all that. You got people that you go to school with that's making some fire stuff, if not even, if not better. So it's like, support your people, bro. Like, keep the Black dollar running. You feel me?
And what would you say is the importance of events like Tallahassee versus the World and Hidden in Plain Sight?
That's a good question. So the importance is, you know, putting yourself out there, like, you feel me? If you're a brand, you feel me? If you're a musician, if you are like, if you make clothes or whatnot, anything creative, it's like, you should be putting yourself out there more instead of like keeping it like to yourself, like in the house, you feel me? Because it may not seem like people really care about what you got going on, you feel me? But there's real life people out there that's like waiting on the next thing you got, like your next drop, like your next item that you got for your store. It's like, literally I'll be like, I'd be on campus and it's like, yo, like that song like with you and Lucid, it's like, bro, I love that. Like, when y'all gonna drop some more? I'm like, like or something. So it's like, you feel me? Don't ever doubt yourself. Like, all of this is just like, it should spark belief in yourself, like coming to like any artist events or like showcases and all that. Because you feel me, if you started it, just like do the most what you can with it, because like you only got one life, so it's like make the most of it.
How would you guys describe your music?
A vibe. Gas. You feel me? Like Shoot, yeah, you just gotta listen to it, you feel me? It puts you in it just puts you in a different space.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I really can't describe my music.
Yeah.
I feel like the only way that I could is just with the name that I give myself, Lucid. It's lucid music. Feels like you're dreaming. It's not even real.
Okay, so one of the best displays that I've seen of lucid music is with your music video with Low Key, Only Me, which on YouTube is headed to 10K views.
Hey.
So can you tell me what was the planning and production behind that video?
That video was a crazy video to shoot. I'm not gonna lie, you bringing back some memories now. But it was during 2021 in particular was one of those rougher transition years. I was trying to get down to fam. I was in Atlanta. And I'm like, you know what, let me give myself a break, focus on the music a little bit more, let me work on this video. It was a matter of just wanting to bring the people that were around me to have a good time. Because I noticed a lot of my friends at the time were just kind of just trekking and working, trying to get through stuff. So we were just, you know, let's have an opportunity to have some fun. So we got some friends, told everybody dress up, you know, had different locations that we shot at. There was a shout out to Double Scoop Ice Cream, Black-owned ice cream spot in Stonecrest. You know, we featured them in the video. Black Mountain Natural Foods, all natural Black-owned business that sells like lemonades and whatnot. So we tried to feature as much of our community as possible and just really make it feel good. So then, you know, you have that opportunity to listen to the music and get lost in whatever other world you want to go to, but also like, you know, supporting the world that you love and the community around you. It's just only you know.
Ant, you're from South Florida, and Lucid, you're from Atlanta. Those are homes to some of the biggest musical influences there are. So can you guys tell me just a few of yours?
Man, just a few? Well, shoot.
Just a couple, not too much.
A couple. Well, shoot, people that influence the sound for real for me is them boys that gave the community. My boy Sidon, Vince made the beat. Shoot, my boy Joe Benit. Working with the artists that I work with, you feel me? But heavy like musical influences.
Yeah.
For my sound too is London on the track. He's a producer. Summer Walker, Future, you feel me? L.O.E. Shimmy. You feel me? Shim, you feel me? Yeah. Anything that's like a vibe, you feel me? So it's like, you know, like R&B, trap, soul, Tiller, all that. So I just like put it all in a blend.
To name off a few personal ones, big shout out to Loki AD, Icy Donnie, Ahmad Anonymous. I'm gonna miss so many people if I try and call out that whole Atlanta scene. But you know, they are all, you know, very supportive, you know, coming up in Atlanta. But in terms of larger scale artists that we're talking about from when I was a kid, Outkast was always on rotation. Definitely was a little Dreamville kid. I love J. Cole, J.I.D. Black makes some great music. I love Black's music. You know, Smino, one of the smoothest dudes alive. Just stuff like that, you know, I try and create a little smorgasbord. And there's a whole lot of other stuff too. You know, I listen to a little bit of like funk. I used to listen to dubstep, cooler stuff. So I'll try and mix it all in.
To piggyback off the last question a little bit, name 3 artists that you guys would like to work with in the future.
Since we just brought them up, and I know you probably gonna say him too, L.O.E. Shimmy, most definitely.
Yeah.
Ant was actually the one who put me on. Very, very great music, vibing on a whole nother planet, straight flowing on a track, every single one.
Literally.
I just mentioned Black. I gotta work with Black. If I don't get in the studio with Black, I'm not gonna be happy. And then, do they have to be alive? Can I throw a transition one in there?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Give me and Michael Jackson on a track together.
Okay.
That's a hit. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
All right, yeah, for me, it would have to be, I gotta get in the studio with Summer Walker, bro.
For sure.
Yes, her. Who else? I got two more. Did I say Smino? Gotta work with Smeeze. Yeah. I wanna get in the studio with like Metro or London on the track, you feel me? That's what got me into producing for real.
So since you guys are producers, I kind of want to talk a little bit more about how and why you guys learned to produce your own music. So you guys can start.
So pretty much it started just like me listening to music, you feel me? And it's like, I hear a song on the radio and it's like, I can make something like that. You feel me? And it's one of them was like it was a Waka Flocka song, No Hands. You feel me? I'm like, this
A classic.
It's a classic. You feel me? So it's like I can have something with the same type of vibe. I wanna just like learn how to make music for real to do it. I started off with this program called Audacity. Yeah, that wasn't it for real. Then my boy put me on the FL, so it's like, okay, I'm seeing what's going on with this. Just started making beats and all that, like back to back, and it's like over time it got better. So now we getting songs like where you really like feeling it. You feel me? Instead of just like, oh, this is cool. Like, no, it's gas. No. So you feel me? It's like. Yeah, you know.
And Lucid, how did you get into it?
All right, so it was 9th grade. We just moved into a house that had like a husk of a studio in it. It was just a space for it. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna set up a studio in here. Just being a 9th grader, think I was gonna do everything. I wasn't super serious about it. But when I got to school, everybody was talking about this website. Now, if anybody knows about this, that's crazy, but I don't expect anybody to know what it's called Audio Tool. And pretty much it was just a whole lot of samples. It was like a free production site. 9th grade, me ain't had no $300 drop on no FL. That was crazy. So I made my little beats on there. You could probably still go find it. I'm not gonna tell y'all where, but if y'all wanna go look, I could try. But eventually, around my junior year of high school, started playing with FL a little bit more. Because I would always just kind of write on YouTube beats. I got tired of that. I'm like, it's not satisfying me. So I started just producing my own beats just for myself. And writing to them, and then later learning how to record on FL. But yeah, it was just out of desire and necessity, I feel like. You know, I just had to start making the beats, because can't nobody make a Lucid beat like Lucid.
Ain't it? And shout out my boy Ben. He put me on the FL studio, and he let me borrow his studio money.
Facts.
You the GOAT, bro.
Facts.
Shout out to you, bro. If it wasn't for him, y'all probably would not have me sitting in this couch right now.
And then, so Lucid, you actually just recently dropped your own project called To the Moon and Back, and you like produced that completely by yourself. So can you tell us about that project?
The only other track I think that wasn't produced by me, there's two of them, Golden Champagne, produced by Antmann, and then Black Obsidian, which is produced by Kill Oreo, friend of mine from high school, you know, he's actually the dude who's I'm using, so big shout out to him. He was on me about playing around with music, so, you know, I hope he's happy. But that project, and you know, I was a project. That was one of those ones that I really like I felt like that was the first time I really locked in musically and just buried myself into my work, fully invested emotionally, mentally, physically. It was more than just the album at that point. It was a culmination of
Culmination. These are big words.
But yeah, it was a culmination of everything that I had been going through at that point, all my reflections. It's a few songs, you know, about a couple toxic relationships that are on there. You know, folks know about that. So it was definitely just a point of regrowth, healing, building. While I was working on that album, I took a trip out the country, and that was a really eye-opening opportunity. It gave me a new perspective on how I could come back and just carry myself differently as an individual. So that album, truthfully, is more than an album for me. It's very important to me, and I really appreciate the reception it's had from everyone who's listened to it. So, yeah, To the Moon and Back's always gonna have a special place in my heart. Yeah.
All right, and then for our viewers, tell them your favorite song off the project that they should listen to.
And spell culmination.
I'll tell them go check out Golden Champagne. I feel like that's just a real solid, smooth track. It's gonna give you enough of the vibe of the album without hitting you with too much of it up front. It's like, you know, vibe. We sipping on Golden Champagne. Life is good right now. Calm before the storm. I'm feeling nice.
All right, and then Lucid, we want to know, when will we expect something new from you too?
I'll give y'all a date, and I wasn't even gonna do this, but February the 8th.
February 8th.
We're getting a new drop.
So y'all got a Journey Mag exclusive.
This is exclusive. I haven't publicly announced this anywhere, period. This is the first I've mentioned it, so February 8th. And a few people, if you were at the Hidden in Plain Sight show, you heard it. It's with my friend and great artist from Atlanta named Icy Donnie. It's called Rollin'. Produced by Antmann. you know, so
Yeah.
yeah, tap in.
All right, looking forward to it. And so now just to wrap things up a bit, can you guys tell us where we'll be able to find yours when it drops and where can we find your music now?
Go to my Instagram. My IG is Antmann with 2 N's, ANTMANN .WAV, wave. But pretty much there's a link to all my links in the Instagram. It's got the YouTube, it's got the TikTok, it's got anything, like all the interviews and all that. It's on that one link.
And y'all can check me out, Lucid Luunar, lucid like the dream, lunar like the moon. Type that in anywhere, you'll find me.
If you sing, hit my DM, please.
Yes.
Facts. Hit me up to work.
Yes.
Be
Like,
for real.
Oh yeah.
Be for real. All right, so that's all I really have for y'all today. Thank y'all for joining me for episode 4.
Thank you.
Thank you for having this.